University. Located on 160 acres of prime land in the southwestern section of Lawton, Oklahoma, Cameron University, in its 67 years of existence, has consistently grown, enlarged, and matured. Cameron University is buildings, books, laboratories, ideas, thoughts, activity. Cameron University is many things, but most of all, Cameron University is people. People in the laboratory probing the origins of life. People on stage reflecting the complexity of life. People in the classroom studying the business of life. People who have a common purpose of improvement of their life and their world. Before the first classes ever began, a special group of men were already hard at work. Over 90 men turned up to become part of a special group. A dream is born in the sweat of effort and concentration under a hot Oklahoma sun. Hours of hitting, hurting, hunting for the right combination of attention to detail and hard work that will eventually become the start of a tradition. A dream that in reality became a season unparalleled in Cameron tradition. X's and O's on blackboards are suddenly human beings on the field, and the idea in the coach's mind becomes a well-tuned football machine. All led by this man. John Linville came to his first university head coaching position from Rice University, where he was a top assistant. Winning is not new to this man of boundless energy who brought a youthful spirit to Cameron football. John is a native Oklahoman who played for Central State University. After accepting the top position at Cameron, he immediately began the job of surrounding himself with high-caliber players and the all-important coaching staff. Tom Lynch, offensive coordinator. Backfield coach Tony Pounds. Charlie Golightly, receiver coach. Assistant line coach Lowell Watts. Bill C., assistant defensive line coach. Defensive coordinator Keith Lavender. Tom Flood, defensive line. Secondary coach Al Everest. And Mike Whiteley coaching defensive ends. September 14th, 1974, a capacity crowd anxiously awaits the first home appearance of the Aggies. The week before at Murray, Kentucky, Cameron is introduced to NCAA football. On the strength of an offensive explosion, the Aggies led convincingly for 58 minutes, only to fall 8 points short of victory at the end of the contest. On this night, returning for the home opener, the young Aggies take the field to face perennial NCAA powerhouse South Dakota. The record crowd was not disappointed. The offensive show of the previous week was for real. Big's exciting running and a tough defense kept the fans on their feet. But maturity was still to come as victory was 7 points away. South Dakota 29, Cameron 22. However, coaches, players, and fans alike knew the potential was there. September 21st at Kansas State at Emporia, optimism was rewarded with an awesome 35-7 victory. Wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour greeted the Aggies at Alva, Oklahoma on October 5th. Northwestern, as yet undefeated, tested Cameron's strength of character and most of all, the Aggies' determination as Northwestern led most of the game. The defense had to hold and the offense had to score. Then, a last-ditch effort by Northwestern was stifled by an interception at the 1-yard line. Cameron 14, Northwestern 10, and the Aggies had evened their record for the year. Cameron fans were looking for a home victory from the new coach and his youthful squad. The narrow loss to South Dakota did not dampen the spirit of the home folks. And when Eastern New Mexico came to town in mid-October, there were plenty of reasons for nearly 10,000 fans to file into Cameron Stadium. Eastern New Mexico was the 7th-rated team in the nation, and the Greyhounds were sporting the leading rusher in the nation in Tom Manley. The Aggies raced to an early 14-0 lead and went on to win 27-14. The defense, which had not matured at the needed level in the first 4 games, shined against the Greyhounds, and the win was surprisingly easy. Once again, the offense was working with the resemblance of a machine. Using the balance of the forward pass and a strong running game, the Aggies grabbed their 3rd straight victory and put themselves above the 500 mark. One of the state's biggest rivalries. Fierce competition annually awaits participants in the Central State Cameron Tussle. Cameron jumped out to its usual lead in the opening moments, but the Broncos were not showing signs of being quitters. In fact, the score was knotted 14-14 late in the game, and it took a 73-yard return of a fumble to finally swing the game in favor of the Aggies. This victory increased the win streak to 4, and folks were suddenly seeing Cameron as a competitor. The NAIA listed Cameron as the 19th-rated team in the nation. When the win streak ended at 9, Coach Linville's crew was ranked 3rd. By now, the team had been tabbed as Linville's Legions, the Aggieland Express, and one group of interested fans referred to the black and gold as Linville's Lynchmen. It was almost hard for the players and coaches to get into a good football mood on the Panhandle trip. The team spent the Friday night before the game in the beautiful Hilton Hotel in Amarillo, Texas. But Saturday is football day in the fall, and Cameron was ready to go. A third-quarter explosion of 21 points gave Panhandle too much to shoot for in the final quarter. The final score read 28-20. Cameron was once again mechanically smooth on offense. The rushing game netted 343 yards, while 194 more yards were gained through the air. It was one of the most offensive games in Cameron's long football history. Cameron's surging Aggies were rolling along, going into a showdown with talent-laden Southwestern. The Aggies had racked up 5 straight wins, and they hoped to make it 6 against the Bulldogs from Weatherford. It was the state championship game, and a capacity crowd was on hand. Southwestern struck first on a long pass play, but after that brief moment of glory, it was an all-Aggie affair. The Aggies went to the air for their first touchdown. Then the rushing attack started to gel. The next TD came on a scrambling 20-yard run by quarterback Vince Hobbs. Another aerial gave Cameron a 21-7 lead at intermission, and what was billed as a close game had suddenly turned into a rout. The victory spurted Cameron into the number 5 position in the NAIA ratings. It didn't rain Friday in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. The Cameron squad arrived a day early for its encounter with Northeastern State. Sunny skies and warm temperatures greeted the Cameron squad as it entered the city. Saturday morning, it rained, barrels of rain, and suddenly chilly temperatures. Game time, still raining. Cameron trailed at one point in the game 7-3, and it was the fourth quarter before the Aggies could punch over a touchdown. The Redmen fought back, and with only seconds remaining, had the ball on the Cameron 2-yard line with a 4th and goal situation. All-American Mark Cotney, displaying talents that made him an NFL selection, broke through the line on an attempted pitch-out, got the quarterback, forced a fumble, and fell on it for the game-winning play.